Hi everyone, I am finally back with a Shrink My Stash Empties video. I know it's been like over a month since my last one, which is weird for me, but we've not been home a whole lot the last couple weeks, so I'm not getting as many candles burned, things like that. But my bucket is finally full, so I'm going to share with you the things I have finished off and what I thought of them. If you've been watching my Shrink My Stash videos, you will see a mix of product from my spring and summer challenges. There are kids playing out at the pool area there, so apologies if that's distracting. Anyway, so you'll see some spring and summer product because I've been switching over to my summer challenge. I ran a poll on my Facebook group, the Shrink My Stash Facebook group, asking about my empties videos and kind of how they're set up. And it seems that everybody likes them, or most people, not everybody, but they prefer them in the long format, one long video, rather than two shorter ones of maybe home fragrance and body care. But a lot of people seem to want me to flip the order and show you the body care first, because not everybody's into home fragrance, and that way, after you see the body care, you can just click out if you don't care about the candles and wax melts. So we're gonna try that this way this time. All of you let me know down below what you think and what you prefer, because I know not everybody's in the Facebook group. So let me get started with my body care, and I am going to start off with my hand soaps. With the deep cleansing hand soap, we finished the fresh picked blueberries. You can tell this is an older fragrance. It actually expired in 2014, which just means that after that date they cannot guarantee that it's antibacterial. It's still perfectly safe and clean to use. Don't let the expiration date scare you. So it is from 2011. This is an older fragrance, but it's a wonderful fragrance. I want this to come back. This is like washing your hands with a handful of ripe blueberries. It's perfect. It's not one of those artificial. There we go. Sorry guys. Long day, not enough coffee. It's not a very artificial fragrance. It's very realistic, very good. I love that scent and I really want it to come back. We also finished off a deep cleansing lemon pomegranate pop. This is another old one. Again, this is one of my favorites. These two were both just really amazing scents, and I stocked up, and this was the last of both of them. They are gone now for the hand soaps. This is just a great kind of a pink lemonade scent. Very clean, sweet, fresh. Really love this scent. Really want to see it come back. And of course, I would repurchase both of those. And the last deep cleansing soap we finished is this Gardenia and Spring Rain. This is new. It came out this year. This one has the notes on the side since it's the new packaging. I don't know if we're going to focus. Rain-kissed leaves and gardenia blooms. This is very similar to the Gardenia and Fresh Rain body care that came out this year. Not identical though. This one has more of a greenery note to it that you don't get in the body care. Still very good. I think I would like it more if the floral came through stronger. Basically, that greenery note kind of takes over sometimes. So I don't know if I would repurchase any more of those, but I did enjoy it. And then we finished off one foaming soap. This is Sweet Strawberries and Cream. This is, again, one from this year. The notes on here are an indulgent blend of sugared strawberries and sumptuous vanilla cream. This was good. I liked it. I liked strawberry scents. But after you washed your hands, the fragrance that lingered was artificial and almost had a plastic note to it. And I didn't care for that. But I would just put hand cream on after I wash my hands anyway. And that covered up the smell. But I don't like that I had to cover the smell. So for that reason, I would not repurchase that soap. Now I'm going to move on to pocket backs. Those were all of our soaps that we finished off. This first one, as you can tell, is not actually empty. This is Sweet Clementine. Maybe. Come on, camera. There we go. Sweet Clementine. I don't know if you can tell. Do you see how it moves in there? It's one solid glob. It doesn't come out. It's this thick, I don't know what's wrong. Usually when they get old, do you see that? That's so gross. Usually when they get old, they get watery, and this one just got like thick and disgusting, and it's awful, so it's going in the trash because no. Now the rest of these are actually empty. You guys know I hate to throw away product that's not actually empty, but that one was just gross. So I have Paris Amour. I really enjoy this scent. I really liked it. However, I don't know if you can tell, this is one that had glitter, and I'm just not a fan of the glitter pocket backs. They used to not bother me, but I'm just not liking them recently. So I would repurchase in this scent if it did not have glitter. Not a fan of that glitter at all. In the same boat, we have Pink Chiffon. I love this. This is one of my favorite scents. I'm going to be very sad if it is in fact being discontinued at this semi-annual sale. But again, it has glitter. So I love Pink Chiffon. I will continue to repurchase it, but I want to see it in a pocket back with no glitter. This next one is Sparkling Pink Champagne. There we go. This one did not have glitter, oddly enough. You'd think the Sparkling Pink Champagne would, but it did not. This was a pretty scent. It's basically rock candy. A lot of vendors sell a rock candy scented wax, and that's exactly what this smells like to me. I really enjoyed it, but it wasn't special enough that I feel I have to, wait for it to come back or stock up if it did. If it came back, I might buy it, but I might not. I'm not really attached to it. The next one here is Pop of Pink Blushing Berry, and this was just the Bath & Body Works generic berry scent. Yeah, just, I don't know how to explain it other than they've had a lot of berry pocket backs, and they smell like this. This is their berry scent. Again, it was good, but it's not something I feel like I have to seek out, and I would repurchase it if I was just needing hand sanitizer, but again, it's not one I'm going to look for. We also finished off this Lavender Blossom. You guys know, if you've seen my videos, my boyfriend loves lavender, so this went pretty quick. This is a really fresh herbal lavender, very strong, very pretty scent. Probably my favorite of their lavender scents that have come out over the years is this Lavender Blossom. So I would absolutely repurchase that if it came back. We finished off a lot of hand sanitizers. Wow, I didn't realize how many. This is the only one in the new packaging we finished. You're a Gem. Again, this was very similar to the Sparkling Pink Champagne, that rock candy scent. This one, however, did have glitter, so I would not repurchase. And again, the scent just isn't all that special to me. And now for a dinosaur of a product. This is a larger pocket back in the fragrance Tidal Wave Vanilla Fever. This is a 2.5 ounce, there we go, 2.5 ounce hand sanitizer. Came with the little clip here. I'm gonna take this off and save it because that's definitely reusable, something we can find a use for. I found this on one of my old bags that I just don't carry anymore, and it still had about a third left, so I used it up. Just a generic vanilla scent with a hint of their tropical coconutty scent. I'm not a big coconut fan, so if that came back, I would not be tempted to repurchase it. Okay, so that's it for soaps and sanitizers. I am going to move on to bath products. We finished off one shower gel, and that is this very old white tea and ginger. I love this scent. It's very soothing. It's just a straightforward white tea and ginger. It's not like the newer Bath & Body Works scents that each have half a dozen notes or more. Very soothing. Really love that. I would absolutely repurchase it if it came back. I also finished off a bubble bath. This is French Lavender and Honey. I think I had something in this scent in my last Empties video, and I said I wasn't very impressed, but I really liked the bubble bath. In my last Empties video, I said pretty much the same thing about Mad About You. I didn't care for it so much in body care, but in bubble bath, it's really nice. And just a nice, soothing, sweet, feminine scent. So I like it, but I wouldn't repurchase it probably. I know I wouldn't repurchase it in body care, and I'm not really purchasing Bath & Body Works bubble baths because of the price. But it was a good scent for a bubble bath. Just not one of my favorites in any other form. I finished off one scrub. This is the Capri Seaside Citrus, and this is a 2-in-1 body scrub and wash. And I had not used it this whole time because of that. I don't like the ones that are also a body wash because they tend to lather up a lot, which I know a lot of people like, but I don't like that in a scrub because it usually means they're not as exfoliating. However, I was pleasantly surprised with this one. It didn't lather much, just a little, but it was very exfoliating. And if I had known that, I would have used it sooner and probably bought a few more. This was actually a free item when I worked with the company, so I never actually purchased this because it was a body wash. But it was really good. I liked the scent. It was very clean. The citrus is very light, kind of a sweet scent. I don't know if the notes are on the back. The notes used to be on the back, but as you can see, this is one where the packaging did not hold up to the shower. That's one problem I have with Bath & Body Works. Some of their shower products cannot stand up to the heat and humidity of a shower, and that's definitely a problem because that's where they're meant to be used. So I liked it. I might even would repurchase this formula if it came back, but it's not something I feel the need to seek out. And then finally for bath products, I finished a Lush bath bomb. This was the, is it Titsty Totsty or something like that? There's some S's in there in weird places. It's a white heart-shaped bath bomb with rosebuds in it. Very pretty scent, very strong in the bath. The fragrance was very pretty. It did not irritate my skin, which is sometimes a problem I have with Lush. I really liked it. I like the idea of the rosebuds in the bath bomb, but to be honest, at the end of the bath, I was just kind of picking them out of the drain and they were falling apart, and I don't like to give myself extra work at the end of a relaxing bath. But I enjoyed the fragrance so much that I might repurchase this one. It was very nice. So there's bath products. Moving on to the rest of my body care. Finished one hand cream in Island White Pineapple. I feel like I may have talked about this fragrance before. It's called Island White Pineapple, but there's definitely a coconut note. There are no notes listed on the back of this, but there is a coconut in here. I can't handle coconut. It makes me feel nauseous. It gives me a headache. So I bought this last year thinking it was just a pineapple scent, and every time I used it, I didn't like it. So when I pulled it out this year, I actually finished it off as a shaving cream. Just use it real quick, rinse it off, not have to deal with it. I would not repurchase that fragrance. On to the body lotions. I finished off this old Wild Honeysuckle body lotion. And let's see here. Okay, this one does have notes, sort of. A blend of bright florals dancing in spring rain. It's very old lady. There's a hint of honeysuckle. And then it's just so heavy and musky and old lady to me. I'm not a fan. I love honeysuckle scents. I do not like wild honeysuckle. Butterfly flower just blows this out of the water. So I would not repurchase that, and I am glad to see it go. Also finished off this body lotion. This is the, I don't know if it's going to focus on that, Sweet Magnolia and Clementine. It's hard to see on these clear bottles. This came out last year for spring, I believe. And this is a really pretty fragrance. The notes on here are Sweet Magnolia, Fresh Clementine, Blooming Gardenia, Spring Sandalwood, and Golden Honey. It's a very sweet floral. That clementine gives it a freshness that stops it from being too mature. Really, really pretty scent. I loved that. I will absolutely repurchase that if it comes back. That's a great fragrance. I would be happy to see that join their year-round signature lineup. Very pretty scent. And then finally for lotion, I finished off this very old Aromatherapy Stress Relief body lotion in Eucalyptus Spearmint. And I also finished off a newer packaging. I've been dealing with allergies and some sinus stuff for the past week or two, and this was a really great scent for that. I love this fragrance. I will absolutely continue to repurchase it. It's very fresh, very clean. I don't really buy into the aromatherapy that it relieves stress, but eucalyptus and spearmint do help you feel like you're breathing easier when you're sick, so that's what I use it for. Now, I will say on the packaging, this is much prettier packaging, but if you can tell, you can see here where the lotion is in this bottle. It's been laying down, so you can kind of see it there, and then you can see that it's empty. On this bottle, you can't see anything. The glass is much darker, and it was impossible for me to tell how far down I was in the bottle and when it was empty. So with both of them, I took the pumps out and left the bottles upside down in a container overnight. And I have to say, not much came out of either one of them. So these pumps are much better than the signature pumps that you used to be able to buy because they actually get most of the product out. Excuse me, my voice broke there. The one thing I will say on these, I can tell this one was too old because this one had that tingly kind of cooling sensation from the spearmint on your skin. When you rub it in, you got that tingly cold feeling. This one you did not. And I know I used to when I first bought this. So I can tell the oils in here were old. It didn't make me break out or anything. It's just, it was time for it to go. And that was actually the last of my eucalyptus spearmint lotion. And I will definitely purchase more of those when they go on sale. I don't pay full price for that. And now moving on to my body sprays, which will wrap up the body care portion of this video. I finished a travel size to go with that Sweet Magnolia and Clementine. Again, I really, really love that fragrance. I also finished off a full-size Eucalyptus Spearmint that went with those lotions. Now this is from the Signature Collection, Eucalyptus Spearmint. The lotions are from Aromatherapy. It smells the exact same to me, and this is cheaper. So this is what I buy. I would repurchase those if they went on a good sale in store. If not, I'll just buy the Signature lotion online when it's cheap. To me, it's all the same scent. So that was it for body care. Pretty successful, and I got to use a lot of items that I really enjoyed. So now I'm going to move on to home fragrance, and I'm going to start off with a couple candles. So those of you that said you're not interested in home fragrance, bye, and I will see you in my next video. For the rest of you, I'm going to start with a couple Better Homes and Gardens large jars from Walmart. The first one here is in Sunlit Wild Herbs. I had this one going in the guest bath. It did soot a little the first couple times I lit it. You can see right up top. And then the rest of the time that I burned it, I had no sooting problems. I do put Alumalids on these, so every time I burn it, there's an Alumalid. I think the flame just, maybe I didn't trim the wick short enough on the first couple burns. This was very, very fresh. It's very herbal. It's not, at first I thought it might be kind of like eucalyptus spearmint, but it's not really minty. It's more of like a sage. No, I just checked to see if there's notes on these, and there are not. But it's a very nice fragrance. It didn't have the strongest throw. It filled the bathroom that it was in, but it didn't move into the hallway or my son's room like some candles do when I burn them in there. It was okay. I don't think I would repurchase it. I like those herbal scents, but for me, one was enough. I'm not really tempted to find another. And the other large jar that we burned was this Rainy Spring Day, again in the guest bath. This one had a lot of burning problems. No soot, but look at the wax buildup. This was a lot worse. This had a thick wall of wax all the way around it, all the way down. And the only reason it doesn't have it anymore is because I forgot to blow it out one night. So it burned all day, all night, and then I just let it burn all day the next day since it was already lit. And it still left this much wax on the sides. As for the fragrance itself, very, very fresh and clean, very light throw. This is a beautiful fragrance, especially for spring, even into summer, but it had such a light throw that sometimes I couldn't even smell it in that bathroom. So if this was a stronger scent, I would have been tempted to repurchase, but as it is, one was enough. I also finished off this 3-wick cotton candy from Mainstays. These kind of blew up all over the wax community. Some people loved them, some people hated them. Mine burned pretty well. You can see that 1 wick kept going, but right up until the end, it burned evenly. No soot, Unfortunately, very light throw. I did get a throw. This was again in the guest bath. You could smell it if you were standing like at the sink where it was burning, but you couldn't smell it anywhere else in the bathroom. So it was nice on cold, but no, not much throw. I would not repurchase it. I'm gonna stick to my Yankee cotton candy. Then I have one from 719 Walnut Avenue. This is Sunny Sangria. This had a terrible, terrible burn. So I poured it out into my wax warmer. It smells like fruit punch. On cold, it smelled good, but when it was warm, it smelled really, really cheap. It smelled like, Kool-Aid fruit punch in a bad way, just really cheap. It was stronger on the warmer than it was burning, but that's not really a good thing. I was not a fan of this scent, and I would not repurchase. I'm pretty much done with that brand anyway, so yeah, just not going to deal with those anymore. And now moving on to Bath & Body Works candles. I'm going to try to talk a little bit faster because I am running out of memory on my phone. The first one I have here is Mocha Latte Swirl. The notes on the bottom: espresso, creamy caramel, whipped cream. This is not espresso bar. Similar, has that same note, coffee note, but espresso bar is coffee and dark chocolate. This is definitely coffee and caramel. I think I like this one more than espresso bar. Beautiful scent. I had a good burn. I have a couple scorch marks there, but that's my fault from my lighter. And at the bottom, I know it looks messy, but that is because I put this in my Empties bucket before the wax had completely hardened. So it actually had a beautiful burn, had a very strong throw. I had it burning in the kitchen and it filled the house. I really enjoyed it. And unlike espresso bar, my boyfriend did not complain about it. So that's always a bonus. I would definitely repurchase that. If I see any at semi-annual sale, I will be grabbing a few for sure. We also finished off this Amsterdam Tulip and Windmills. This was originally released as Flower Shop years ago, and that is one of my all-time favorites, so of course I had to buy a few of these. The notes on this one are sweet lilac, pink freesia, and tulips layered with cooling greens. I don't smell the lilac, which is great because I hate lilac. This just smells like flowers. Bouquets of flowers, like a whole room full of flowers, which a lot of people hated because to them it smelled like a funeral home, which I understand. A lot of times you go to a funeral, you get that heavy floral smell when you're up front because of all the fresh flowers people bring. But to me, it's a much nicer association. I just think, like, we go to the botanical gardens a lot here, and whenever they have fresh flowers in bloom, it just smells so pretty. That's what that reminds me of. I will absolutely repurchase, and I will have an eye out for them at semi-annual sale. This next one we finished off is white gardenia. It did not come with a lid. I just put it on there to put it in the Empties bucket so that things wouldn't fall inside. The notes on the bottom here are white coastal gardenias blend with watery greens and soft woods. I loved this scent. You may remember when I hauled it recently that I was worried that it would be too strong and that it was going to give me a headache. It was very, very strong, but it didn't bother me. I didn't leave it burning very long at a time. It would get a full pool and I would blow it out because it would become overwhelming. But it was such a beautiful floral scent. I've already repurchased and I will have an eye out for them at semi-annual sale. Right now they're in stores as white gardenia, seaside gardenia, and rainforest gardenia. And everybody I've talked to, all the sales associates, say they're the same scent. They all smell exactly the same to me. So why the same scent is in 3 different names right now, all at the same time, I don't know. But whichever one goes on the best sale at semi-annual, I will definitely be picking it up because that is a beautiful scent. We also finished off just a couple hours ago this white tea and ginger. I love this fragrance. I loved it in the body care. I was so excited when it came in the candle. I bought them when they were White Barn exclusives, and then I picked up more when they went wide to all the Bath & Body stores. Just as our classic white tea leaves, sparkling citrus, and hint of ginger. Such a beautiful fragrance, so soothing. Really love this. I mean, it really smells almost identical to the body care, which again, I love. I had that in our bedroom, and that was a perfect bedroom scent. My boyfriend actually, a couple times when I had this burning, came home and complimented the scent in the bedroom. And again, he doesn't comment on the scents a lot because he's just used to me always having something going. He really liked that. I really liked it. Unfortunately, it did soot a bit. The wicks on this were crazy long. No matter how much I trimmed them, after they burned for like an hour, they were super long and they began to soot. That's unfortunate. I hope my other white tea and gingers don't do that, but it was a really great scent. I will repurchase that at semi-annual sale. Then I have this pink sangria. This is a very old candle, kind of a yucky bottom there. Zesty mandarin, crisp apple, watery pear, and sugared berries. This is a very lemony, like pink lemonade, but a very strong citrus note. I really enjoyed it. It was super, super strong, super strong. However, for the last inch, you can't really tell in here. It kind of still looks a little pink on camera. In person, it's pretty much white with gray soot in the wax, and it's not showing up very well. The candle was pink. It was pink. And for the last, about this much, the wax turned white, filled with soot, and had no fragrance at all. I don't know if that's the candle's fault or my fault for having a candle that is, let's see here. Yep, even the number's worn off, so I can't even tell you how old it is, but it may have just been due to age. I liked it, but I'm kind of, I don't know. I liked it, I didn't love it. I don't think I would repurchase it if it came back. Then I do have two mini candles here, no medium candles this time. This one is in Champagne Toast. It was okay on cold. It's not one of my favorites. Unfortunately, it had no throw, so pretty much served no purpose. I won't be repurchasing that. And then Golden Pineapple Luau. If you've seen my videos, you know I'm in love with this right now. Unfortunately, again, almost no throw. If I lit it in the bathroom and closed the door, I could smell it when I would leave for 2 or 3 hours. Come back, I'd smell it when I opened the door, and that was it. The 3-wick is doing amazing. The 3-wick has an amazing throw. Nothing from the mini, so I will not be repurchasing it in that size. Moving on, I have a few randoms here, and then I will do my wax tarts, and then we will be done. I have a Scent Portable in Beautiful Day. I like it, but I'm kind of over this fragrance right now, and unfortunately, it did not last long in my car. The disc is still in my car, and it's about half full, and you can't smell it at all. My boyfriend got in my car and couldn't smell it, and he usually notices these. So, not much fragrance. I don't think I would repurchase it. I'm just kind of over that one. I have an empty wallflower bulb here. I wrote "'Tis the Season" on it. That's actually what's in right now is "'Tis the Season." This is Winter Garland. I just put the cap on here because I was lazy. I like Winter Garland. I haven't seen it in years. I would not repurchase because I am no longer purchasing wallflowers. I believe I only have 3 left, and then I'm officially done with wallflowers. A couple tarts here from Yankee. True Rose. I love this scent. Unfortunately, very, very light throw with the tart. So far, my candle is doing good, and that makes me happy. I just didn't get hardly anything from the tart, and I'm not repurchasing from Yankee, so there's that. Vineyard, no throw at all. Couldn't tell you what it smells like. And Cotton Candy. This is my favorite scent from them. Unfortunately, very, very light throw on the votive. My candle's doing well right now. I have several candles, so fingers crossed. I have several votives. Maybe some of them will turn out better. This one had pretty much no throw. All right, so moving on to my wax clamshells, and then we're done. From Sensationals, I have Cucumber Melon. Very similar to the Bath & Body Works scent, which my boyfriend loves. Very clean. We enjoyed it, and I would definitely repurchase it. Also, this value pack in Cupcake, so it's the size of 2 regular ones. Just a plain vanilla buttercream. I used it in my son's nursery. It was good, but it was just too light. And even in the nursery, I like light scents. But this, I don't know, this one just seemed very generic and it faded away quickly. I don't think I'll be repurchasing, I don't think I'll be repurchasing that. Then from Better Homes and Gardens, we have Butterscotch Maple Cream. I'm not a fan. It was too heavy, too syrupy. I tried it in my son's room and it was too much. I tried it out in the main part of the house and I could handle it. I didn't love it. I won't be repurchasing it. Frosted honey cake I've talked about before. I do love this one. This is an amazing scent. This one, again, was used in my son's nursery. I actually have a lot here that I used in his nursery. I've used it in the main part of the house too, and I loved it, but there's just something about it being in the baby's room that's just really nice. I will absolutely repurchase that. And again, from my son's room, Sugared Lavender Twist. I actually have opened another pack of this, and that's what's in his room right now. This is such a pretty scent. Definitely lavender, but sweet, very sweet. There's definitely that sugar comes through. Very, very pretty scent. I love this, especially for his nursery. I would absolutely repurchase that. And finally, our very last empty for this video, which is good because I only have 3 minutes left of recording on my phone. This is the Tranquil Garden Spa. And I've earned this years ago. I melted one of these and I really liked it. So when I saw it in a value pack, I picked it up. It's very pretty on cold, very clean, very relaxing. I bought it for the nursery. However, even 1 cube is too strong. It was not okay in the nursery. It gave me a headache. I was afraid it was bothering my son. So I tried to use the rest of it I tried it in the bathroom next, thinking very clean, but again, too strong. So I just slowly used it in the main open areas of the house. But it's not one I would repurchase just because it gives me a headache. It's a beautiful scent, but something about this scent combined with the strength bothers me and I can't handle it. So unfortunately, I will not repurchase that one. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching my empties video. I feel really successful with this so far. I have just passed 300 empty products for this year, which puts me very close to 600 empties since starting the Shrink My Stash project. Yes, I know that's crazy. Yes, I know that makes me a hoarder. I'm aware. I know, guys. But I'm really, really happy with my success. So thank you all for sticking with me and watching these videos. I will link to my group down below if you want to join us on Facebook, and I will be back with another video soon. Bye.